So my name is Nancy Lulu, and I'm here on from the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office. On behalf of DA Gonzalez and staff, I would like to wish everyone a prosperous new year. The Brooklyn DA's office remains active. We continue to work to make sure Brooklyn communities remain safe. Just a couple of announcements regarding the Brooklyn DA's office's work since the start of the new year. Back on January 4th, 2021, Brooklyn DA Gonzalez announced that a 21-year-old man has been indicted for reckless manslaughter and other charges in connection with the death of a 50-year-old Brooklyn father. This horrific crash was not an accident, it was a preventable crime that stemmed from reckless behavior before and during the collision. This is the first indictment obtained by the New Street Safety Bureau at the Brooklyn DA's office, which was created this summer to better address vehicular violence on our roadways. It will continue to thoroughly investigate and prosecute dangerous drivers when their unlawful action cause traffic fatalities or injuries. The Brooklyn DA's office is determined to get justice for victims and to send a message that this conduct will not be tolerated in Brooklyn. My second announcement is back on January 6th, 2021. Brooklyn DA Eric Gonzalez, together with NYPD Commissioner Dermon Shea, announced a 15 alleged 900 gang member charge in a 77 count indictment. Those indictments include 2 murders and 9 shootings. These indictments reflect our commitment to stem the surge in gun violence that we have experienced since last spring. The Brooklyn DA's office is always committed in keeping our communities safe always. My last announcement is that since January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month, for the first time, the Brooklyn Human Trafficking Task Force, Suffolk County Anti Trafficking Initiative, and the Western District of New York Human Trafficking Task Force are partnering to deliver targeted statewide training for law enforcement, healthcare providers, and the community on how to better identify trafficking. This event will take place over a 3-day period from January 25th till January 27th. Attending those events will provide the community members with particular steps that they could take to join the fight against trafficking. It is a free event and it's entirely virtual, so you could join us from anywhere. I will post the link in the chat, but I'll say it out loud: www.brooklynda.org/HT Awareness 2021. And if you would like more information in regards to those indictments, please visit our social media platforms, or you could email me at lulun@brooklynda.org, and I'll send you those press releases. And I would like to conclude by reminding everyone with the Action Center's phone number. If there is a matter you would like to address with the Brooklyn DA's office, please call 718-250-2340. And I would like to thank everybody for having us this evening, for conducting those meetings, and hopefully we could see you soon. And Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you. So Nancy, before you go, I have an assignment for you. I
Go
know
ahead.
it's not your area, but it's an ancillary area.
Uh-huh.
It seems like the county clerk is sending out jury duty notices, but you don't
Uh-huh.
have a lot of activity. Now, these poor people that got jury duty notices as of January 4th for 2 weeks have been held hostage to have to call in every day and be told continue to call.
Uh-huh.
When you call their office, the district county clerk is like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, be happy that you're home. We're not telling you to come in." Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's supposed to be like a 2 week service. People
Yes.
do have lives. People do things. You can't just go on a dime. I mean, when people plan for jury duty, they plan for the week and possibly two if they get put on a jury. So if you could possibly talk to the county clerk to correct that, because I
Okay.
don't think people should just be kept indefinitely on a call-in jury duty.
I mean, for everyone's defense, even before the pandemic, this is how it was. Usually they'll keep you last minute, you'll call the night before, and then you'll find out if you have to go
Oh no,
ahead
I
and.
know that, but this is going on for 2 weeks for some of the constituents, is
Okay.
what I'm
So
hearing.
So I'll reach out to them and let them know that it's not fair.
It's not fair to
PM.
hold people beyond 2 weeks.
Okay, I will
Okay,
definitely address this with them.
thank you. And just so you know, CP11 got some complaints, that's all.
I
Okay,
will address that. Thank you so
thank you.
much. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay, so,
One moment.
Gloria Daniels from Parks, and then after her, Danielle Shapiro. So first, Gloria. Okay, she's
Gloria, you
unmuted.
can just unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, Gloria.
I just want to say Happy New Year. And thank goodness Bensonhurst is open. It's a pretty park. What else? That's all I have to say. I was
Okay.
trying to keep track of some of the capital projects, but I can't give any definite answers.
Okay, so we'll hold it to next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So that was it. I just want to.
thanks, Gloria.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All
Danielle,
right.
you're up.
If you need anything, just email or
We'll
call.
give you the holler. You're
All
always
right.
there for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Danielle,
One moment.
sure. And I see that Justin's on the line, but Justin, we're gonna call you during the meeting.
Hello?
Danielle? Yes,
Okay,
go ahead, you're
Danielle.
muted.
Okay. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm talking for the Brooklyn Public Library. We have a special library card that we are going to have for BPL for Juneteenth. Okay. And there's a contest currently for children ages 13 and up. They can submit a design for the library card. For information about it, it's BALC@BKLYN library.
We're losing you a little bit, so if you put it in the chat and you give it to Marnie, it'll be in the minutes and be in the chat. Okay, it looks like yeah, you're having some connectivity issues. Okay, just put it in the chat, Danielle. Kathy Santapietro's on, but again, she's having
30.
difficult. Yep, gotcha, Danielle. Go ahead. No, we still don't have you. Okay, she's off now. I told you about Kathy. Is there anybody else? I don't see anybody else in the chat.
She can unmute herself and speak. Kathy.
She said she's having connectivity issues,
Okay,
so she can't do that. So we did mention she's the new person.
1 second.
Can you hear me, Bill?
We can hear you. Oh yeah, we can hear you now, Kathy. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm happy. I'm so upset I couldn't see myself on the screen. I usually don't do that, and I was going to do it at this meeting.
Gotcha.
How is everybody? I'm wishing everybody, of
We're
course,
good.
Congresswoman, a safe and a healthy new year. We're still in the office that we had for Assembly at 7716 3rd Avenue. We'll be sharing the office with Assemblyman Michael Tanusis. We're still in transition. We're still waiting for furniture, computers, but we do have office cell phones that people could reach us, and we are in office if anybody needs to come by. And if I could be any assistance, or you need any assistance from our Congresswoman, please reach out to me and I'm glad to assist. Thank you.
Okay. Next is
Sarah Anders.
Yep, Sarah Anders.
Hi, everyone. This is Sarah from Senator Andrew Canardis' office, wishing you all a happy new year. We're back in session, and the senator just voted with the rest of the Senate to pass some laws to make it easier for everyone to vote. So, make it easier to vote absentee, make the counting faster, lots of good stuff there that will hopefully pass the legislature. We're really focused on getting accurate information out about the vaccine and calling for more sites in Southern Brooklyn, because we're all, well aware that It's very difficult for seniors to travel long distances, and we really want to get more sites, get the most accurate information about the COVID vaccine out there. So always feel free to reach out to our team, and again, wishing you all a Happy New Year.
Great. Now we have Ed Cerna. He's from the mayor's office, I guess.
Mhm. Go ahead, Ed. Just unmute yourself, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Awesome. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Edward Cerna, Mayor's Office of Community Affairs, Brooklyn Borough Director. Not sure if it was covered, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating some information. But about vaccines, we're on track. The city's on track of hitting its goal of vaccinating over 175,000 people. This week, the mayor announced that the Queens mega vaccination site that is going to operate 24/7 is going to come online at Citi Field. And they're going to be able to administer 5,000 to 7,000 doses of vaccinations a day. They're currently in talks to get Yankee Stadium online, but more relevant to us here in Brooklyn, our mega site is at Brooklyn Army Terminal. I'm currently at the site because I don't know if some folks saw, there was just some information that was sent out that there were some extra doses that caused hundreds of people to show up to the site. But just folks be mindful. There's an eligibility criterion that folks need to meet. There's thousands of people that are still waiting for it. And as supply chains open up, we will get it. But if you do fall under the criterions that are eligible, you can go to vaccinefinder.nyc.gov to find the site nearest to you, or you can also call 877-VAX4-NYC.
Okay,
All right?
and Ed,
Mhm.
so the mayor's gang has to do a little better job because they're sending the people in Brooklyn to the South Bronx. Doesn't even come up that you can get an appointment for the Army Terminal. So you got to look into your IT system there, because I will tell you, we tried it firsthand the other day, and the option that came up for us here in Dyker Heights is the South Bronx. So it's not working.
Well, for sure.
Get the bugs out. It's early. We got to get the bugs out, but I do need to give you that feedback. And I've not only tried it personally, I've seen it. I've got my vaccine, so it's not an issue. But I've heard it from neighbors and stuff. So they'd like to come closer to home. I mean, they don't want to travel to the Bronx because their second dose then is going to be in the Bronx. So just double checking with your IT people that there's a little bit of a glitch there.
For sure, Chair. Definitely agree with you on all those points. Some of my family members also experienced the same thing. But as you said, things are still being built out. We have more sites coming online, and that we have some partner sites with like City MD and what have you. So definitely hear you on that, and we'll take it back. I believe Marnie raised some of those concerns to me. Lastly, we saw some of the violence that took place, in DC last week. The mayor announced that we're going to be pulling our city contracts from the Trump organization, and the FBI released a statement that there's a warning of continued violence. At this time, there's no specific threats to New York City. If that were to change, I'll be sure to let Marnie and the public know. So thank you very much, everyone. As always, you can reach me at ecerna@cityhall.nyc.gov. Looking forward to working with everyone in this new year. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so no other?
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead, Mark.
Hannah Wienerman.
Oh, she must have texted you.
Hi, everyone. Hannah here from Congressman Jerry Nather's office. Happy New Year. I hope everyone's doing well. The Congressman is safe and healthy after last week's terrible events. Our staff is safe and healthy. I just wanted to flag, amid all this, we passed another stimulus bill. So there's a few things that I just wanted to highlight in the bill. I will be pulling together a newsletter with more information on it, which I'll send over to Marnie. But I just wanted to flag that the folks have started to receive the $600 in stimulus. So there's been obviously, the rollout is a little bit slow on that. So if you have any issues, feel free to contact our office about it. I will also, and we'll see what happens with the additional, potentially $1,400 that everyone's going to get. The PPP loans have been reopened. So if you received a PPP loan the first time, you can reapply. There's additional eligibility this time around. And again, all that information will be on our website. Unemployment insurance is extended. It's an additional $300, but it's also those expanded eligibility programs, and that goes until March 14th. So if you have an issue with that, contact your state elected officials. There's a new program for shuttered venues. It's called the, let me find the name, so sorry. Basically the grants for shuttered venue operators. So that's part of the Save Our Stages Act. So there's a few things in the bill that we're still trying to sort through. We don't know if there's going to be additional legislation to change any of it, but that'll all be listed on our website. And I'll include a link to our website and contact information for myself in the chat below. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Hannah. Anybody else, Marnie?
Yes, one moment. Yes, Declan Hahn.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay, that's great. My name is Declan Hong. I am a community liaison from Assemblyman William Colton's office. Just want to wish everybody a happy new year and stay well. Assemblyman asked me to ask a question about the homeless shelter that they are planning to build in Bensonhurst. The address is located in 2147 Bath Avenue. So he would like to know, like, if there's any new information about this plan, like when this homeless shelter is gonna be built, and what is the occupancy for the homeless shelter. So if anybody know this information, it would be really great that to share with us.
Great. Thank you, Declan.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Marnie. Anybody else?
Okay, yep, Sergey from the Controller's Office. Just unmute yourself.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay, Marnie?
Yes, we can.
Okay, Happy New Year for everyone
Sure.
attending, for the board members from New York City Comptroller, Scott Stringer. Hopefully we'll get better, healthier, safer year. And just wanted to point out, again, if I would come to the meeting, I would bring some lovely brochures from us regarding news from our office, but now we're all remote, so please visit Comptroller's website, and in the newsroom link, you can see all the news updates. As a matter of fact, a couple days ago, Comptroller wrote a letter to New York City Mayor and published a press release about encouraging mayor to pay more to nonprofit organizations. I don't know, I hope there are people from nonprofits here. And I don't know from my contacts that some nonprofits have not been paid for the deliverables from 2019 yet. So they are in a tough spot, especially nowadays. And the controller encourages mayor to make these payments
Great.
come to people. Again, happy and healthy from controller. Thank you. Nice to see you all.
Thank you, Sergi. Marnie?
Yes, we have Stephen Patzer. Just
Hi.
unmute yourself.
Can
Hi.
everyone hear me?
Yep. We got you.
First and foremost, Happy New Year to everybody. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Stephen Patzer, and I'm running to succeed Councilman Mark Traeger in the City Council in the June 22nd primary this year. I'm going to put some information in the chat about my campaign on my website and the work we're doing to serve our community right now.
I think, Stephen, I just got to
Yes.
sort of alert you, we can't promote that at the community board. So certainly it's good to hear you. I'm glad you want to participate. You could be a participant, but we can't be the conduit for any political, it's the law. So I'm sorry about that.
No worries, William. Thank you so much for letting me know.
Yeah, I don't want you to be in trouble either, so
I can appreciate that.
you got it. Okay, Marnie, anybody else? No? Okay, hearing none, I'd like to close the public portion of the meeting. Okay, we got Andrew, Ross, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes of December 14th? Eileen LaRuffa makes a motion. Dr. Law seconded. Any changes? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we so carried. Before I give the chairman's report, I know we have the councilman with us. I would prefer that he go ahead of us because he might have other things to do this evening. And thank you for joining us, Justin.
Right on, Bill. Thanks for having me. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, Marnie. Good to see everybody. Really quick, I don't want to take too much time. Two main things. Very excited about the new Bensonhurst Park playground. It's finally finished. It looks amazing. I was there over the weekend. Park was full of kids, very excited about the renovation. This playground hadn't seen a renovation in decades. So I'm trying to go down the list and make sure that all the parks that need love are getting the love that they need. Bensonhurst Park hadn't seen a renovation since the 80s, which certainly was not acceptable to me or anybody else, but we're not done there. We're still going to do the other side of the park. And I want to get this to be the world-class park that the hardworking people of this neighborhood deserve. So I'm excited. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It looks really great.
Thanks for your efforts there, Justin.
Right on. And the next thing, vaccinations. That's really the main thing on everyone's mind right now. What I think is important, and I think the city and the state isn't really telling everybody, is that there just aren't enough vaccines yet. That's the problem. Right now, we have millions of people in the city who are eligible for a vaccine, but we're only getting about 300,000 doses a week, and that's for all of New York State. So based on the calls and emails coming to my office over the past few days, that's what we're seeing. And unfortunately, this dynamic is not made any better by the fact that the city's website and the hotline don't tell you that they don't have enough vaccines until you're at the very end of the registration process. So like the chair said earlier, I don't think anyone thinks that this process is going to be perfect because we're in a global pandemic and we've never vaccinated on this scale. But I do think the city needs to communicate more clearly that everyone who is eligible should not expect a vaccine immediately. Unfortunately, right now, vaccine eligibility does not equal vaccine availability. So in the meantime, we're working with the city to improve the functionality on the website to prevent this from happening, and certainly to do better than telling folks in Bensonhurst that they have to go out to the South Bronx to get a vaccination. But as always, we're here, we're on your side, we're fighting to make this, to get this up to speed. But the bottom line is we just need more vaccines. We don't have enough vaccines right now. The CDC just expanded eligibility to folks who are 65 plus, which is great, but they did that without giving us any more doses to vaccinate with. So that's really seems to be the problem. And I think it's one of the things that the city and the state are just not coming out and being honest about now, that we just don't have enough. But we will get there. We will get there.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. And Justin, I think you're absolutely hit on the head. We just have to be transparent to everyone and just say, hey, look, there is this, like I was telling Ed, there is this website, there is this stuff, whatever, but listen, it's you could try to get on there, but if there's not the supply, the demand is there, it's like, what do you want to do there? Right. So my point would be is to tell people we're shutting it down. When we have the supply, we'll open it back up, because people are just frustrated as all hell. They go on there, I'll send you out to Oshkosh, I'll send you to Pennsylvania. Right. It's got to be a little better. There's got to be a bit of better rollout, and I understand it's in its infancy. So, we'll give it a couple more weeks, and at the next meeting, if it's still the same blank show, we'll be a little bit more. We'll voice ourselves a little more vociferous.
I would expect nothing less. So, thank you guys very much. Happy New Year.
Got it. Thanks, Justin.
Happy New Year.
Thanks,
Happy
Mark.
New Year.
Bye.
Okay, so I'll go into the chairman's report. So I'm glad that most of the people are on mute, because we got a letter the other day. Now, let me just preface this by saying the following. Every time something comes into a community, it's not in my backyard. Why is it here versus there? The mayor came up with a plan about 2 or 3 years ago that said every community's got to take a homeless shelter. Well, it's our turn up. Now, when we had some inkling about this, we had sort of said, when you're thinking of doing this, when time comes here, we have some M1 zones. M1 zones are manufacturing zones where, depending on the type of homeless shelter you're going to put in, maybe you should go there and try to, take the land there. Unfortunately, as you know, the city never listens. So we got a letter the other day, and they're going to open a 150-bed men's shelter, not family shelter. And so this will be for men at 2147 Bath Avenue, where the Enterprise car lot was. Okay? It's going to be run by a reputable not-for-profit. They've been around, the Institute for Community Living. And they've been in business some years, so they're reputable. They're not a fly-by-night place. Just for transparency's sake, I'm part of Hardshare. I run it, and we have 2 shelters in the Bronx, but they're for families. They're easier to they're easier to manage. They're easier to family and children. It's easier to do. We take our share by having the nursing homes right there. The Sephardic, Haim Solomon. We have, what's the other name?
King's Adult Care.
Right, King's Adult, and that's really a dual diagnosed nursing home. So, it's not that we run away from our responsibilities. Certainly, we should give this. It's going to come before us. I'm sure people are going to have something to say when we have the public hearing on this. And they plan on opening before the end of next year, 2021. So sometime this year, they're just going to trudge forward. Some other parts, and me and Marnie have talked about this, and that's why we try talking sense. There's also 1,200 students who live in temporary housing just in our district. I mean, this would have been a great spot for them. So, maybe we can put the pressure up to say change the course, but I don't think that's going to happen. Also, where this is going to be is like just a couple, I think like 2 blocks away from the grammar school that's there by the precinct. So, I don't know if it's the greatest spot, but, there are concerns, and we could talk about the oversaturation I just said. But I don't think our community fits with a men's shelter, 150 bed, no less. Not even that you start like small, I give you 50, 75, let's take it the whole 9 yards. So, and also they're not even taking into account our infrastructure. Okay. There are only 2 parks. There are multiple schools. There's houses of worship. There are other community-based organizations. Now, one of the questions we're going to ask as a community is, you make all of these folks go out during the day. You can't stay there the whole day. When it's that type of, single gender, got to go out, either go look for work. Most of them are going to go down to our new Bensonhurst Park. So we have to find out what will the not-for-profit do to support them, okay, versus just dumping 150 people in here every night, and then during the day, you guys put up with whatever is left over during the day. So let's see. We're trying to schedule a meeting with DHS and the provider to discuss these concerns early on before we actually take it before the board.
Bill?
Yes.
If I can just interject, I am not quite sure that the process requires that they come before a public hearing.
Okay, well then, here's the worst news. I gave you bad news and the worst news. If there's no public hearing, I'm telling you, so then do what you guys have to do. Let your community know, let your neighbors know. If there's anybody from the media on, Marnie be happy to talk to you. I'd be happy to talk to you. But it isn't going to be pretty. So, and again, the other parts of this is, let's wait and see what they're rolling out, what they're talking about, what type of supports they'll have. You should always have an open mind before you just jump in and say, never. Okay. But Marty, that's some distressing news about the public hearing. And that can happen. The mayor can do that anytime he wants. It's like an eminent domain thing. So, and especially he's going to be out of office. He could care less what he dumps here. Also, I want to remind you, you should be getting, I don't know if they give it to us anymore, Marnie, right? I think you have to go on the borough president website if your term is up. So if your term is up this year, and if you don't know if your term is up, please call the office and Marnie will tell you if this is your year. But I will say, please do that. We've lost one or two, maybe even half a dozen good members that missed the deadline and then couldn't be resurrected because, well, no, they didn't do it. And other people came on and we lost some good board members that way. So please pay attention to that.
Yeah, Bill, if I can just jump in, I just want to let the board members know that I did send out an email to those whose term was expiring. If you didn't receive it, you do not have to reapply.
Great.
Okay.
Oh, good. See, I know you're efficient. Okay, and that will lead me right into you. That was my report, so I'll go ahead.
Okay, I think Captain Chen is with us.
John, oh, there he is. So let's have Captain Chen give, any updates that he has. Welcome,
Hi.
Happy New Year, Captain Chen.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. Monty, you, and Dr. Law, and everyone else on the board. There's so many. I'm not going to mention everyone. Good. Nice to see you guys again. Hope 2021's much better year, right? We all say that. Yeah. Some depressing news you just gave. I knew about that, the plan about the shelter, but yeah, you're right. It's right down the block from the precinct. We're gonna have a
We're gonna keep you busy.
But with that said, I'm just gonna keep like a little report card of 2020, how the 6-2 been. We did pretty good. 6-2 for 2020. Was about 976 total index crime recorded for 2020. So we saw a 9.3% decrease in overall crimes. So with that said, though, we did see we saw like a big decrease in robberies, a slight decrease in burglaries, and then a big decrease in grand larcenies. But with that said, we did have like a spike. It's not just a 6-2 problem. It's been a problem like kind of like a citywide problem with GLAs, grand larceny autos. So car theft has been an issue, especially with the 6-2. It's the same problem I've been talking about for the last couple community board meetings. It's people leaving their car, keys in the car, stuff like that. Is avoidable stuff. So we had a big spike of that. We had a 92% increase, 96 last year versus 50 in 2019. So I hope that with a little community outreach, we could combat that, because it's really not much else. When you just leave the car there with the keys in the ignition, it makes it so easy for the perpetrator, the bad guys to do it. We had a little slight increase in felonious assault. That's but I think the COVID had a little bit to do with that, because everyone stays home. But on that part, we did have like we make 100 arrests of the 145 felony assaults. So like I said, a lot of them are domestic issues. So we're able to close out most of the cases on that. And that we did see a little spike of crime lately, but we've been keeping it good. Compared to last year, we're still on the down. For the 28 day, we're still in kind of level, and we're actually on the lower side. Try to hold it out for the week, and then we'll go. And then 2021 is the new year. We're gonna we'll forget about all about 2020, and then we will start working toward the new year. And then, you know, I'm not gonna address talk about the vaccinations because recently we had I think in one of the churches, St. Dominic's, we had they gave out about 200 doses of vaccines. So it was a pretty good, pretty smooth event. I know the lines is pretty long, but we were able to, I was able to handle it. I just wish, we get more vaccines here, but that's not, that's really out of our hand. But every time we get something like that, we'll just make sure it's, goes peaceful and orderly. And that's that. That's my report card for 6-2.
And we want to thank you for your continued participation. It adds value to the board. So thank you very much.
Thank you for your continued support. I can't stress enough. The men's and women's of the 6-2 precinct really appreciate that support from the community.
And it's right back at you, so we got your back.
All right, thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, Marnie, your turn.
Thank you. The Department of Design and Construction advised that they are beginning the preliminary design for the 86th Street Safe Routes to Transit project. The project includes infrastructure, pedestrian safety, and accessibility improvements for transit riders along 86th Street between 19th and 25th Avenues. As I'm sure everybody's aware, people waiting for the buses now have to stand in the street in between the columns of the elevated structure. So this will be a great improvement to that corridor. The work will include installation of bus bulbs, bus pads, upgrading curb ramps for ADA compliance, pedestrian signal improvements, consolidating signage, and providing conduits for future lighting below the D train, which is really good news because there's always been concerns about the lighting along 86th Street as well as New Utrecht Avenue, but we'll worry about New Utrecht at another time. And they will also be doing water main replacement. So as everybody knows, with sewer or water main projects, there will be temporary shutoff of water services. And we'll be advising DDC of future events and holidays to help mitigate impacts to the surrounding area. Additionally, we want to ensure that additional bicycle parking corrals are included in the design. Many times on 86th Street, you will find the bike racks that are utilized up there maybe can fit 3 bicycles. So there's bike chains all over the corridor. So hopefully they can include that because with the bumped out sidewalks, you will have a larger space. The sidewalk will take up the parking lane between, Andrew, I see you looking up on 86th Street at Bay Parkway, where you have the cement there. They will be filling that in with sidewalks. So we should have room to expand parking for bicycles. So we will be asking for that at Bay Parkway and 20th Avenue. And we will also make sure that the bus stop waiting areas are expanded in length for the articulated buses so that people that are getting on and off in the rear have a safe spot to enter and exit. And also we receive requests on a common basis for additional benches. So we'll add that on and see if we can get that included in this capital project. I put Bensonhurst Park in my report, and that's some really good news. And I just want to publicly thank Councilman Brannan, Commissioner Marr from Parks, and the design team. They did a fantastic job, and I can't wait to get out there in the warm weather. People are out there already enjoying the new park, and it looks beautiful from the outside. So we're excited about that, right, Eileen? Eileen called me and she said, "Oh, I can't believe it's open." But both council members, Gentili and Brannan, have really been big supporters of our parks, and I can't wait to see what comes next. The Department of Finance will be holding a virtual outreach event to provide information and assistance on the 2021 notices of property value. Property owners should start to receive those if you haven't. Those who are interested can register through the Department of Finance's website or reach out to me, and I will share that with interested people. Some of you may have heard through press conferences that the mayor recently announced that effective tomorrow, the 15th, street vendor policy and enforcement will now be the responsibility of the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection. It used to be the police department was the enforcing arm for the regulatory agency. And I guess he moved that away so that they can focus on other issues. So we'll be reaching out to them to discuss historical problems on 86th Street that have gotten worse during the pandemic. Some of the complaints that we received are blocked crosswalks, entrances to the train, unlicensed vendors. So we'll be working with them to try and make sure that everybody's compliant and educated on what the rules are. And finally, Monday, there's no trash or recycling, nor street cleaning on the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. If you have garbage regularly scheduled, put it out Monday afternoon after 4. Recycling holds it back for the following week. And that's what I have, Bill.
Great. Thank you, Marnie. Any old business?
Bill, I have a question.
Yeah, go.
It's Eileen.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like this community is busting at the seams. And if there's anything that the board can do to tone down the influx of apartments and condos, you know, the sewers can't take it. There's no parking. They changed the rules so they don't have to give you parking under the structure. It's one big mess. Is there anything we could do to slow it down?
You know, if they could.
I know that's a loaded question.
Listen, I know it's a loaded question. If they could build, listen, the way we only have the power to slow it down when they're looking for a variance. Aside from that, when somebody can build as of right, they can build as of right, and they take these parcels, these bigger homes, and they do exactly what you said, Eileen.
Right.
Exactly what you said. They make these, you know, 6 families live where 1 family lives.
We're going to explode.
Oh,
There's no two ways about it.
I see it now, and I've mentioned this to Marnie a number of times. All the illegal curb cuts that cut parking out, okay? On top of the fact that, look, we've gotten to be a very car enamored community, you know, not community, population. The United States is enamored with their cars. Well, I will tend to say most families, 2 cars, you're poor. You know?
Yes.
Most of them, if you have, you know, young adults or whatever, they got a car too. So, I mean, you'll get families here, 1 family house, 4 cars. I got a family for the street. They park a lot of them in their backyard. They got 5 cars, 5 people, 5 cars.
Yes.
So
I just didn't know if there was something planning and zoning could do, or just in general.
Eileen, I mean, we have identified it and spoken about it. We've put it in our statement of district needs, the need for additional services. You know, we are not, as a community, our zoning, we have a mid-density zoning. So you can't, I mean, Cropsey Avenue, one of those large lots, they're building as of right there.
Right.
And that's another concern, you know, when we're talking about a homeless shelter up the block from new buildings that will have 543 market rate apartments, there's something very wrong here.
Is there parking in that building?
Yes, of course, because the people that I am sure they are targeting to rent the apartments at market rate also have vehicles, so they will be providing that. But we have identified that with city planning and asked them to look at the community, and we've even added it to the variances that we've had in the past as a proviso. Ross has added in that they must study the area to make sure that we have additional services to meet the population growth. So that's been identified.
Eileen, we're on your side. We'll keep
Oh, I know. I just felt the need to open my mouth.
Yeah, it's good that you put
That's
it in.
okay.
Anything else?
Hello.
Yes, I'd like to say something. This is Sonia.
Yep, I got you, Sonia.
Sonia would like to say something.
Yeah, you're in. You're in.
Okay, so the 62nd precinct. Okay, the 62nd Precinct Community Council will be holding their virtual meeting this coming Tuesday, January the 19th at 7:30. Also, congratulations to Andrew and his wife Melanie. They just had a baby boy on January the 6th. So that's good news. First to say, I was one of the people that rushed out to get the vaccination. That's why I was late for the meeting. When I got there, the police were there and they said, "Are you here for the vaccine?" And of course, I said yes, and it was embarrassing. But if you get that online, this was a message that somebody texted to. So if you get a text like that, just appointment. That's it. Happy New Year.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Anybody else?
Hello, may I answer?
Okay, go, Doc, go.
Hello, is Sarah still there from Andrew Goretta's office? Is she still there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
She mentioned that we will have a size in Brooklyn, Bensonhurst, and Grayson. Please let us know because our senior have a lot of trouble making appointments. They look at on the computer. They send them to Bronx. How can they go? They don't speak English at all. Please let us know. I want some site in Brooklyn at this Bensonhurst and Grayson. The community member complained to me. They don't know how to do it. That's a problem, a big problem
Not
there.
the law. That's what we talked about at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah.
They have to fix the glitches in it. They're sending it
Yep.
to the Bronx.
Yep.
So I don't think that Andrew could do that single-handedly. Because
Okay.
right now it's a city problem. Get said you got to give it some time to rework itself. So I'm sure Andrew's got to worry about what he's got to do to kick the governor in the backside. to get us the
We have
vaccine.
a lot of
So,
complaint. We have a lot
there
of
you go.
complaint. They talk to me.
Oh yeah, no, listen, you're not alone. You're not
Yep.
alone.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I have.
Ross, you got to unmute, Ross.
I have an issue with to bring up. I don't know if anybody was aware, but there was an accident regarding a 4-year-old boy that was killed and a 6-year-old. All right, now that happened around the corner from where I live, and I was also interviewed by News 12 regarding the accident. I also noticed there is no speed camera in the area. Now, PS 205 is right on 20th Avenue between 67th and 68th Street. And there is no speed camera at all in the area. There is also no light, the traffic light on 20th Avenue and 66th Street, which is the next corner from the school.
Okay, we can have a traffic. Marty can let the traffic department know. I will let you know. They'd be more than happy to take your suggestion about putting more speed cameras.
Well, I mean, but I think
before me and you leave this earth, there won't be a corner in the world that won't have a speed camera.
no, I think that the city law was supposed to have speed cameras by all the
Oh
schools.
no, they'll love it. They'll love it. Marty will tell them your suggestion. They'll put it there tomorrow.
I mean, especially on 20th Avenue, they speed like crazy on 20th. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the area, but I'm on.
We're familiar. Don't
And
worry about it. Marty's going to write the letter. I'll see it in about a day.
okay, no problem. I mean, I'm surprised that there's no speed camera or traffic light on 66th Street.
Try to get ours removed. We'll give you ours. We can take ours off the corner up where we are.
No problem.
Is there anybody else?
Yeah.
Ross, go ahead.
Okay, let's see. Am I on?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
I'm
on.
on
You're
mute.
good. You're good.
Okay, so I was told just to have everybody look at newyorkcity.gov/vaccine finder. The other thing is, being involved with the zoning, as Marty noted, we have to be on the lookout. There might be some things coming our way for like 9-story buildings on 86th Street. I think I'm thinking of by the corner of where the limousine company is.
Yeah.
I'm keeping an eye out for that. And I guess the third thing, I'm wondering if anybody else has a problem, if there's been any like vice reports. We've got an adult shop that I know that we've been looking into the last couple of months on 86th Street. it just says, I don't know if anyone can go in there if it's COVID related, but it's a giant advertisement for, adult shop, come here, in different languages. So whatever your background is, you can go up there. And I know
Dr. Lauren Manoir in there. Both of those guys will go. They'll do some research for us.
you got to look through every disgusting reel twice, but first figure out what's going on and get them out of here.
No, so the sign says sex toys, and sex toys is not illegal to operate. They're not providing
services.
Nobody's done any investigation to make sure there's no massage in the back.
The Department of Buildings did go there.
We're going to send these two guys in and undercover, and we'll report at the next meeting.
Okay, Jin Hai. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. That's all.
Is there anything else? Okay, hearing none.
I actually have a couple of things. Marty, I know after the last board meeting that you met with DOT about Bay Parkway. Have they come up with any issues as to what they're going to change as far as the timing is concerned yet?
So very quickly, no, DOT hasn't responded in writing to us. Lori and I attended with representatives from Councilman Brannon's office and Traeger's office to show them the issues that we see on a daily basis. And part of the problem there is that those three lights, the phasing, is treated as one traffic signal, correct, Lori? And they are looking at it. If they tweak one light, it throws out, there's not a good fix there. So they are looking at it. They had the engineers there. There was some kind of easy, quick suggestions that we gave, like the left turn from Cropsey Avenue onto Bay Parkway should be signed Belt Parkway only. Left turn at Shore Parkway at Bay Parkway so that there's no conflict with that right lane. Maybe look at the feasibility, the counts of removing the right, the green light arrow, the right on red at Bay Parkway and Cropsey to try and alleviate some of that backup off the belt. So they're going to look at that and see what they can come up with, and maybe the lane designation. If they're going to remove the westbound right on red, green on red arrow, then they should make that a right turn and a through lane crossing over. And that should alleviate, we felt, some backup. So they will get back to us in writing. We haven't received any information as of yet.
Just a question. I know that you said they're starting the project onto 86th Street with the extended design. If you're not aware, there was a major accident with a bus just yesterday, an articulated bus with all the construction with the subways above it. I don't know how much they're doing here, but those buses, especially when they redesign everything here, they got to take into, in case they're doing construction up there, they got to make a way out for those buses. Because they literally, a bus wound up on the sidewalk on 86th Street, and you know what? That's not. That is a dangerous issue. I'm just saying here is, I know they're in the pre-planning. Is they got to
talk about them doing a design, Robert? When they give us the design, that should be one of our comments. Yes.
Yeah, Robert, this isn't going to happen. I would say a minimum, they'll come back maybe next year, 18 months, like that. They usually don't move so quickly from the design.
And with COVID, add another year.
Okay, I'm just saying, I didn't know if anybody knew that. You know what? That's got to be taken into account because, like I said, an Arctic wound up on the sidewalk.
Robert, when we're able to opine on this, we'll put those quotes in there.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, that's it. Anything more? Okay, hearing none. We'll see you all next month. God bless and be safe. And hopefully you get a couple of vaccines. God bless. Goodbye.